This may trigger some people, but this is just where I'm at and how I'm approaching dating at this stage in my life, especially as a single mom and someone who's really intentional with my energy. I've decided that I don't do the whole boyfriend, girlfriend thing anymore. To me, that language, guys, it feels a bit high school. I'm not interested in being anyone's girlfriend. What I'm interested in is being a wife. And for me, it doesn't make sense to give someone exclusive access to me unless there is a formal, tangible commitment, as in I am engaged or married. Think about it. When you go to a doctor's office and you fill out a form, you only ever see 4 options: single, married, divorced, or widowed. That's it. There is no girlfriend or boyfriend box. That's not even a real status. So until I am engaged or married, I consider myself single.
Okay, so we have a single mom, who, listen, single moms, I don't know what happened here. I don't know if she's divorced. I don't know what happened here. But when you are a single mom and you are searching for a man, there is baggage that you have. You have to just acknowledge that. Second one, you're bringing baggage, right? Because now a guy who meets you is going to be like, first of all, am I dealing with an ex-husband? Am I dealing with an ex-boyfriend? What's that dynamic? That's like extra that I have to deal with. There's a child. Am I going to be the caretaker of that child now? This isn't my child, but does it sort of become my child? It's baggage, right? So you have to know going in, you're coming in with baggage, okay? You better be bringing something to the table to make up for that. I'm just being honest, to make up for that baggage. Here's the thing. What she's saying is that she doesn't want to put all of her eggs in your basket, as she wants to force you to commit, right? I get the sense that maybe this one had a guy who didn't want to commit. And the way that sometimes women will try to force you to commit, like force you to do things, is to say, well, I'm not going to be exclusive until I have a ring on it. So I'm just out. I'm not going to be your girlfriend. I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of that. I'm going to be out on the prowl, and I can be taken by any guy. I'm still available. So until you put a ring on it, I'm not yours, and I could be taken away from you. Now, you better be a really high value woman to play that game. You got to be a prize to play that game. You got to be respectful and loyal and devoted and hot and all the things to be able to play that game. Because if a guy's not ready and you're not all the things, he's just going to be like, then just stay around. I don't care. I'm not ready or whatever. But it's trying to force this commitment from you. I had a friend that used to tell me when I was younger, don't ever move in with a guy. Don't ever move in with a guy, because you have to, make sure he'll never marry you if you do that. You have to make him marry you for. And I was just like, is this like, shouldn't he like want to marry you? You know what I'm saying? Like, shouldn't it just be like not a game that we're playing? So women will play these games because they feel like they have a lot of guys that won't commit. Now, I would ask you though, why don't these guys want to commit to you? Why not? Because, and here's why. And I can't speak to every guy. Obviously, some guys probably have some issues with commitment that goes beyond maybe some like mommy daddy stuff going on. Who knows? But good men sometimes will be hesitant to commit. Why? Maybe they don't trust you. Maybe they have concerns about what you're doing on social. Maybe they have concerns about the friend group that you're traveling in. Maybe they have concerns about how you treated your ex-boyfriend. Maybe you're not giving off like wife vibes and you're giving off, girls night out vibes. Maybe you're not being respectful. Maybe you're a boss babe type and they're like, well, how's this going to be? Like, I don't see like mom to my children in this woman. Why are they hesitant to commit? Take a look in the mirror. If you're so eager for that commitment, take a look in the mirror and try to bring to the table what guys care about, right? Say, am I bringing to the table stuff that's of value to him, or am I bringing to the table stuff that's of value to me? Because if you're trying to attract him, then you got to target it toward him. I'm just saying. And we're talking about good men here. Obviously, there's guys that aren't going to commit because they don't want to commit. And honestly, if guys don't want to commit, and there's guys out there that don't, let them not commit. It does them no good to commit to you if they're unhappy about it. You want to be with a man who, if you want to be committed to him, he wants to be committed to you, not one that you got to like have a dog on a leash and try to like coerce. And that guy will never, it just won't work because he doesn't ultimately want to commit to you, right? So this whole game is like kind of insane. Here's the other thing, honey, that she doesn't realize. This game doesn't work because if men know that you are around other guys and they're going out with you on a Tuesday and you're going out with somebody else on a Wednesday, it doesn't work the way you think it does. It doesn't work the way it would if it was a guy doing it, how you'd feel. They're not the same. They get like their stomachs turn when they think about, oh, she could be sleeping with other guys, or she's on a date with other guys, or she's doing this with other guys. Like, you become less attractive to them. right? You just do. They don't want to think about that. They don't want, like, that's now a woman who's like out and about doing God knows what. It's unattractive. They lose attraction for you in that game. It doesn't work the same the other way. When it's the other way and women see a guy who has options, that guy becomes more attractive to them. They're like, I want to secure him. I want to do whatever I knew.
And you know, it's crazy because once again, this is what we come across. This is what has men out of the dating market. Foolishness like this. Just stupid. Just stupid. Once again, trying to separate themselves from the pack. I'm going to take you very kindly and put you right back where you belong. Y'all be trying to elevate your value and say you're something more than what you actually are.
Ladies, what are we doing wrong? We have to be doing something wrong. Something is not right. Because I have men in my inbox, on my messages, on everywhere, telling me that they do not want to be in a relationship because they choose peace. They chose being alone and being peaceful than being in a relationship with a woman because all we do is cause drama and we nag and all these things, all the reasons.
Why should it blow your mind? In fact, I think you're asking the wrong question. Instead of asking women, ladies, what are we doing wrong? You should be asking men, what are we doing wrong? And then we'll give you the answer. And I'll give you the answer even though you didn't ask the question. Here's the answer. 1, mixed signals. Women say one thing, but they respond to another. They swear they want you to be clingy, up in their face, intentional, but when you do that, they don't respond well. They ghost you. Instead, women actually respond better to being breadcrumbed. Trust me, I know. Other thing is, women are ungrateful. You guys don't appreciate shit. You feel like you're entitled to everything. Another thing, no reciprocity. So now if I do something for you, you won't do anything in return. And you expect it. You consider everything we do the bare minimum, but guess what? You have no bare minimum for yourself. And this is why I think men would rather be alone, because women have high standards for us and low standards for themselves. And honestly, it's just a bad deal overall.
How the fuck your man got 250, 300 million and he chose to propose to you, make you his fiance, was gonna walk the aisle with you in real life, get married with you, and you didn't want to sign a prenup for what? He got all the money. He the biggest star in the world, one of the biggest stars in the world. And he chose to be with you. He chose to propose to you, make you his fiance, and was gonna marry you, showing that his love for you was real and all that shit don't matter. I want to be with you. And you chose not to sign something that protects his assets, knowing damn well he loved you enough to do all these things while he rich as hell. So either way, you was gonna be taken care of even if y'all didn't work out. But your dumb ass chose to not sign it. He broke off the wedding. Now you ain't get, now he know you don't really fuck with me for real. If I wasn't Dak Prescott, you wouldn't be with me. If I was just a 6'4" motherfucker working a decent 9-to-5 job, you wouldn't be here, so fuck you. Did the right thing, you asked me.
And of course she's saying that it wasn't about the prenup. It wasn't about the money. As a lot of modern women say, well, if it's not about the money, then why don't you go ahead and leave it on the table? Why don't you ask for child support that is reasonable if you decide to go that path? It's probably not going to happen. You're probably going to be like every other woman, and you're going to go out there and ask for thousands of dollars instead of going out there and getting a job. You're probably going to have to, or try to live off his money, and say, oh, well, I built myself up. I did this, I did that. You didn't. You took somebody else's money that you didn't earn. And then you went to pay for the stuff that you wanted to pay for.
Ain't nobody trying to work no job, Tommy. You feminists coming on this page, all that girl said was, what she say? Feminist goes against being feminine. And it does. Nobody wants to, but who the fuck? Golly, I just love working every day. I love slaving away for the white man. Nobody fucking say no shit like that. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Come on, oh, you can get divorced. Why y'all choosing people that y'all trying to divorce off the bat? Bitch, get a relationship a chance to fucking work. Damn, go to couples therapy. Bitches bringing up divorce and getting beat and all this other shit. Y'all, I'm sorry y'all bad people and y'all in connection with bad people, because at the end of the day, none of that shit was even on my goddamn mind. And again, you keep bringing up these fucking bank accounts. I don't give a fuck about that goddamn bank account. That man has way more money than me. Why would I want to spend my own fucking money when I can spend his money? That don't even sound fun. Spending my own money and working a job are two goddamn things that don't sound fucking fun. And when I look at a list of fun shit, those two things are not on it. So y'all keep coming up on here trying to make it seem like everybody got to agree with y'all bum ass ideas, and we don't. That's my goddamn life. That's her goddamn life. If she said she don't want to do those things, who the fuck are you to fucking force her?
Have you ever been scrolling on your phone and then boom, those low IQ reality TV shows, those podcasts where the beta male hosts get in scream battles with those plastic, zero education, syphilis spreading whole bags? You get triggered, admit it, don't deny it, and then you start typing with your little furious fingers, giving your opinion, thinking it matters. And guess what happens? The algorithm turns on and it feeds you more of that crap. And now your entire feed turns into a sewer of this garbage until you start actually believing that that is what most women are. Wrong. Dead wrong. Most women, the average woman, they're not on your screen. They're the cashier at Trader Joe's. They're the front desk girl at the gym. They're making dough, okay? They're those type of women. These women, they don't have time or need or any maybe money for the filler and the plastic stuff you put in your face or the podcast drama. They're too busy living actual lives. You don't see them because the algorithm doesn't want you to see them. The machine, it wants you triggered. It wants you dumb. It wants you hating women. And it wants you isolated, bitter, and scrolling forever. Those low IQ clips that you see, that is all they show you on purpose. So just wake the heck up. Stop letting it program your brain with fake reality. Stop giving your energy to dumb shows with dumb guests and dumb hosts. Most women are not like that. You are just literally being spoon-fed the worst 0.0001%. So you give up and you stay angry. So reject that feed. Go outside. Be a man and wake up.
Thank you to my boyfriend. Hopefully soon I'll call you somehow else, right?
So this came up on my feed apparently a few months after she said that. She got engaged, and a lot of the comments were saying, oh, she manifested it, and oh, you know, she spoke it into existence and all of that. And I have a different take. Why is the #1 tennis player in the world groveling to her boyfriend to move on to the next step in their relationship? I'm just not sure where this dynamic comes from, where the woman loses all agency in the relationship, and now the man holds all the cards or the ball in his court to decide whether or not they're going to move their relationship forward. She is an equal participant in this relationship, and she equally should be deciding whether or not they are moving forward in this relationship. There shouldn't be this much of a gray area where she's unsure whether or not he's going to respond, where she's like sitting and waiting on pins and needles if he's going to be proposing to her. Listen, I have no idea about them and the state of their relationship, although she did get onto a world stage to call him out. But I do have to say that this is not uncommon, where women will give up all their agency and just be waiting passively for a man to make the next move about something that they're ready to do themselves. And I've also seen and heard the women who have waited and eventually have just left because they know that they weren't going to get what they wanted eventually out of the relationship, which was to get married. Honestly, it's time for women to stop being bystanders in the relationship and have these conversations directly with your partner. None of this should be such a surprise. This isn't something that you should be waiting on bated breath for. This should be a mutual decision that you know is coming. For the ones who don't want to have this conversation with their significant others because it's going to scare them off, well, I think you already have your answer.
Now, she said, you're the #1 tennis player in the world or whatever it is. Why are you groveling? Like, what's going on here? So I did a little research. I said, okay, who is this guy? As of March 2026, what is it? Arena, her fiance, Georgios, has an estimated net worth between 75 million and over 200 million. He's a Brazilian businessman and the founder and CEO of the global acai brand Oakberry. Okay. net worth in business, founded Oakberry in 2016, which has grown to over 700 stores across 40 plus countries. Some reports places wealth between 75 to 100 million, while others indicated may exceed 200 million. And yada yada yada. Business connections. Keen on motorsports. Okay, so he likes motorsports. Competes in Porsche GT3 Cup Challenge. Also serves as chief branding officer for a football team in France. Okay, so that's why she's groveling. That's why she's groveling right there. She's got a man that his net worth could exceed. It's saying that it's between 75 and 100 million, and it could exceed 200 million. Now, according to some reports here, her estimated net worth is approximately 30 million. Obviously not too shabby, but I think 75 million on the low end is double that. And then of course 100 million is triple that. And then of course 200 million is what? Darn near 6 times that. So his net worth can exceed up somewhere around 6 times what hers is. So come on, man, we gotta know what we're talking about.
Okay, if you haven't seen this video about the girl who went on a date with the 6'3" broke dude, said her story, let's just roll the clip, shall we?
I really do try my best to be nice to these niggas, but I can't. I really can't. I just got back from a date with someone I met on Hinge. Let's call him Alan because that's his fucking name. One thing I like about Alan is that he didn't waste too much time. We talked about a day and a half and he was like, hey, I want to go out, let's go on a date. And I was like, all right, perfect, I love it. We ended up going to Crazy Sushi in Wesley Chapel. And if you know me in real life or you watch my videos, I love sushi. I talk about sushi often. Every time I go out to eat, I go out for sushi. And everything was fine until Alan saw the fucking menu. At Crazy Sushi, you have the option to do all you can eat buffet, which is $36 per person. When the server gave us the menu, Alan was like, is this $36 for both of us? It's per person. He was like, I'm on a budget right now. I can't afford much and I'm trying to save money. You asked me to go out. He says, is this the only option? I said, well, the server comes, ask him what else you can do. The server comes and says you can do a la carte, which means you're just paying for the roll. You're paying per roll. The server gives us the a la carte menu and he was like, yeah, these prices are way much better. Are you okay with doing this? I said, no. When I go out to eat, I order what I want, I buy what I want, and I'm not gonna not get all you can eat sushi when I'm at a sushi place. I love sushi. I say, we're gonna order separately. I want the all you can eat, and he's gonna do the a la carte. We go through the menu, I place my order, he places the order, and he says, I'm sorry, like, I'm on a budget right now. Are you okay with paying for your own food? I said, that's fine. The only reason I said that's fine is because I'm not gonna not get what the fuck I want at one of my favorite sushi places. He ends up ordering 2 things. I don't know how much it costs, but he also ordered a Diet Coke. Or is it Pepsi? It don't matter. He ordered a soda. The server did not bring him his soda. The server brings us our sushi, but I think he forgot about his Coke. And I was like, I'm gonna wait to eat because I can't eat without drinking. So he's just sitting there the entire time with no drink and not eating his food, and I'm about to order a second roll. He's like, I think he forgot about me. Should I wake him down? I said, do what you have to do to get your drink. Like, you're a man. Why do I need to tell you to get the fuck up? He starts going like this at the table. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Not even like waving his hands in the air so the server can see him. He's like, hello, hello. And I'm like mortified because what the fuck is happening? The server comes and he's like, you forgot my drink, brother. Oh, I'm sorry. He goes, gives him his drink. Then Alan has the audacity to say, can I have some melted butter? The server says butter. He was like, yeah, can I have some butter to dip my sushi in? Who eats butter with sushi? Who does? That's a legitimate question. I did not know people eat melted butter with sushi. The server goes, we don't have butter here. People typically use the soy sauce or the spicy mayo. Anywho, we're having basic conversation. I already know I'm not seeing you again, but I'm about to eat my sushi and order more sushi to go. And he looks drowsy, very tired, and he keeps saying, I'm so tired, I'm so tired. Anyways, he goes to the bathroom, and then I ended up ordering pad thai to go and 2 more sushi rolls to go home with because it's all you can eat for $36. I'm gonna get my money's worth. He was in the bathroom, the server brought my pad thai, and when he comes to the table, he says, I thought you were done. Why are you rushing me? I said, I am done. He said, oh, I thought your food wasn't gonna be in the box. I said, I'm about to ask for a box. Why are you rushing me? He's like, it's been a really long day. I said, we didn't have to hang out today if you're so tired. He was like, well, I just wanted to see you. Then shut the fuck up. Why are you complaining? I didn't have my card with me, so I go to the booth to pay. I go, can you hold my sushi for me? He's like, of course I can. That's the least you can fucking do. I pay for my food, grab my sushi. He goes, can I walk you to your car? I said, my car is literally like right out the door. Like, you don't have to walk. He goes, what I want to. He walks into my car, he opens my door, put my sushi in the car, put myself in the car, starts for going home. I get home. This nigga had the audacity to text me to tell me it's not gonna work out and he doesn't think we should continue seeing each other. So I'm gonna show you my graceful response. People tell me that I'm Buttercup out of the Powerpuff Girls, that I'm a Sour Patch Kid because I'm sweet and sour, that I'm...
Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna say is that yes, some sushi places can get expensive depending on the restaurant you go to. Some sushi places can get expensive. I love sushi, so believe me, I don't have it every single day, again, because you're not supposed to, but also that shit do add up, no lie. Now, the next thing I'm gonna say is this, and I hope a lot of you ladies really start to get this instilled in your brain. Just because a man is interested in you, just because you find him attractive, just because he's got like physical qualities or attributes or whatever the case may be that you like so bad does not mean that he deserves or you need to give him access to you. That even includes a date, right? She even said that, oh, he wasted no time, they barely talked a day and then they went on a date. And now look at her, she's on here with this story because of the fact that she didn't take her time to actually get to know this man and wonder if he should even have access to her in the first place, right? He clearly, the only thing he said that made it not work is the fact that you didn't want kids and he wanted kids. Y'all would have actually had conversations before being so quickly to want to see each other, to want to go on a date with each other. Then y'all would have never even wasted each other's time and you would have never had this story, right? But I will say, if you are the one asking a woman out and wanting to take her out, I'm all for having an understanding on the first date or having an understanding like, hey, we're going on a date. You pay for yourself or I pay for you, whatever case may be. I genuinely think that people need to start actually having conversations instead of just expecting, because this is where people are getting in trouble, right? This is where people are having these stories and this, that, and the third, because they're just expecting a man to do man things and expecting a woman to do woman things and yada, 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 and nobody's actually communicating. And I think a lot of times, a lot of people don't want to communicate because they don't want to hurt the other person's feelings. They don't want to lose the shot that they want or whatever the case may be. But again, I always say, if it's for you, it's never going to pass you by. So if you truly are meant to go on a date with this person, it'll happen. If you're not meant to go on a date with this person, that means that it just genuinely wasn't meant to happen. But this is where exactly I think people get in these story times, right? Because of the fact that people don't take the time to really talk to each other about either expectations or what you desire or whatever the case may be. Now, going into after what happened in the date and this, that, and the third, yes, I will kind of blame him a little bit on the part, like, you didn't seem really excited and eager because you seemed like he was complaining. Now, this is just her side. We don't know the man's side, right? So I can't take too much of what she say. I gotta take it for a grain of salt because sometimes some of you women come on here love to lie. I'm just saying. Now, going into her message, she was rude as fuck. I'm not gonna hold y'all. She was rude as fuck. And the only reason why she was rude as fuck is because of the fact that this man realized that you aren't valuable to me because you don't want kids. Let's talk about it. Also, do you see that she had to let people know in her caption that he was 6'4"? Like, that's supposed to mean anything? Like, y'all are so quick to let the world know, like, the physical attributes about a man, but never once are you going to say anything in your caption, right? This man wanted to walk you to your car even though it was right outside. That's sweet. That's a gentleman. He opened the car door for you, right? That's sweet. That's a gentleman. He didn't have to do that, but you sure did want to let the world know, oh, he's 6'3" or 6'4". Like, those are the things that I pay attention to women like this, and it tells a lot. And man being broke can be easily fixed, but if you don't want kids, a lot of these men don't look at you as valuable no more. Talk about it. I'm not saying she's wrong for not wanting kids. What I am going to say is that these two people didn't take the time to actually get to know each other, talk on the phone before they decided to even go on a date with each other. Because I genuinely believe that, this is just me personally, before I go on a date with you, I need to talk to you for a little bit to know, really, do I want to give you access? Is this something I should be even entertaining? I'm not going to have you spend your bread on me. I'm not going to be spending my bread and wasting each other's time if we don't even have conversations to know if we should continue to even get to the point of courting or going on dates or entertaining each other, whatever the case may be. But it really is given that she was very upset because she realized that this man doesn't see her as valuable because she doesn't want kids. But calling him broke just because he didn't want to spend something and saying all this, that, and the third about him, and then coming online to... This shows me your character. You're so upset about something that happened because of the fact that you got rejected. So you want to come online to make it seem like, oh, I'm not the one, he's the problem. And I'm not saying you're a problem because you don't want kids, but you're a problem because of the fact that, one, your message was fucking rude. It was really, you didn't have to say none of that to him. You didn't even have to tell us his fucking story. But instead, you wanted to come on the internet and tell us about his story to make him look like the bad guy and make you look like the good woman. That's where I know you have a character flaw. And on top of that, that just shows me and tells me that if you were in a relationship, the first thing you're probably going to do if you got in an argument with your said partner is come on the internet to let people know that this man did something wrong, and you need the internet for validation on why you think that you're right instead of trying to communicate with your person. Talk about it.
Well, somebody not wanting kids is a huge thing. That doesn't mean they're not valuable. That's a huge thing to somebody. So if you don't want kids, that is a deal breaker. At some point in time, I might say that I don't want kids now and that it's okay. We can adopt. But at some point in time, I am going to probably ride back around to that and say, hey, listen, I know I said this, but I've been thinking about it and I really do want kids. You know, it's probably going to show up within 2 to 3 years. So I don't see it as him using her or not seeing her as valuable is what I mean to say. It's just, that's what I would like. And like you said, he was a gentleman about a lot of things. Should they have communicated in other areas? Absolutely. But this is what happens when modern women get rejected. And they continue to tell us they have the emotional wherewithal, they have the emotional maturity, they have the whole 9 yards. But this is what we get.
You're in a relationship with a man, you have to listen to what he says and how he feels about women in general. Because a lot of us are dating men that are homosocials. And homosocials mean that he's not homosexual at all. He just does not find women interesting. Everything that he finds interesting has something to do with other men. Going to sporting events, hanging out with them.
So now as men, we're not even allowed to have shared interests with our friends, because if we do, according to her, it makes us homosocials. So all the buzzwords that they normally use, toxic masculinity, narcissists, men being down low, all those words, they don't have the same effect anymore that it once did. So she's trying to come up with something new to insult and shame men for just being men. Because if that makes sense, then we can apply the same logic to women. If a woman decides to go to the nail salon with her girlfriend, then she's a homosocial. If she decides to go to brunch with a bunch of her girls, then she's a homosocial. You see how stupid that shit sounds? That's just a woman that's hanging out with her friends that has shared interests. Also, there's a lot of men out there that love to hang out with their women instead of their homeboys. The problem is, you don't have a man. That's why you came up with that bullshit.
And that's why we gotta let the comedians be the comedians. That's why we gotta let her continue to tell jokes. That's why we got to let her continue to tell skits. If you're watching, the man just don't like what you're doing. That don't mean that he don't like you. But most men don't like going to pumpkin patches, especially all day. Most men don't like going thrifting all the time, right? Y'all will spend all day, every day at a garage sale, which is okay. All day, every day. Let's go to brunch. I don't want to be at brunch all day. There's other things I want to do. Well, I want to go over here and watch a reality show with my friend. I don't want to do that. I'm not interested in that. Well, you seem like you're only interested in what other men are doing. Yeah, because I'm a man. But you and I can develop some stuff. You know, I'm interested in you, so I'm interested in getting to know what you like. But that don't mean I like everything that you do. We can do stuff like go to the movies and, have a picnic. We can go to the amusement park or a theme park. We can go exploring caves. That's things that we can do together. But as far as liking 90 Day Fiance or something like that, I might if I sit down and watch it, but that's not something that I like offhand. Nothing wrong with that.
I just got finished watching a video of a guy telling other men not to become stepdads and to let women raise their children on their own because there was no benefit. Now, because I listened to comprehend instead of listening to respond, I watched the whole video and all the reasons he named were valid. He was in a marriage to a woman with a young son who he pretty much raised for years. And when they decided to split, she cut off all contact, communication, everything because she said it was her son. There is no benefit into raising somebody else's child and pouring into them for years for you to really have no control over the child. I'm going to go as far as saying it's really no benefit into being a step parent in general because you take care of somebody else's responsibility. And most of the time you don't even give back the bare minimum of respect, from the parent or the child. So yeah, I'm going to go that far. I know it's going to be an unpopular opinion. And he said a lot of women would disagree because of course they want men to keep continuing to take care of other men's responsibilities. But like I said, in general, I'm going to go at being a step parent in general for men or women. There is no benefit.
Ladies, what are we doing wrong? We have to be doing something wrong. Something is not right. Because I have men in my inbox, on my messages, on everywhere, telling me that they do not want to be in a relationship because they choose peace. They chose being alone and being peaceful than being in a relationship with a woman because all we do is cause drama and we nag and all these things, all the reasons. Or a lot of them had been burned before, so like we know that whole story, like been there too. So that works on both sides. But like, what exactly? I feel like in a relationship, a woman should be the one to bring peace and bring comfort and, like, at the end of the day, be that person that a man can come home to and, like, feel comfortable in himself and know that, like, he's loved at home. So what is it that we're doing or not doing that they're saying these things? I don't know. It blows my mind that these men would rather like be alone. And I don't know, maybe it's that they're dating younger, and no offense to any of the females on here that are in like the younger age bracket. I just know personally when I was younger, like in my 20s, even into my early 30s, like before I had kids and stuff, there was always a little bit of drama that happened in relationships and things like that. But now being 42, like I want peace too. I don't want to come home to arguments and nagging and like all of that stuff either. I want peace too. So what's happening? Somebody fill me in because I'm fucking lost. I am like seriously lost.
The guy here in the comments says age isn't a factor. It's the feminine movement. It's the entitlement, the disrespect. It's the fact that no matter what men do, it's never good enough or it's never right. We're destined to lose one way or another. So we have learned to enjoy our own company and interests with no judgment, disrespect, or being belittled. That's it in a nutshell. Modern women will read that and figure out a way to blame the man for the stuff that they're doing wrong and them being emotionally unintelligent.
Well, don't teach our children how to read. You aren't educating
This
them.
why I don't like having these discussions. Because when you look at our conditions, you look at our children, you tell me where you see hope. When the Bible says the world is coming to an end, the world is not getting better. It's getting wickeder. And what you tell me, we don't even have an army to defend us. Every other ethnicity got an army, a military, a banking system. When you tell us how we gonna get better, when half these people don't even know technology. And the world is becoming technology. Man, we ain't gonna get better.
I think it's gonna happen overnight.
They've been saying that shit since I was kids. I ain't seen it get better.
But if you don't have hope for your own community,
I wasn't raised in the ghetto, so this is not my community.
You wasn't raised.
I wasn't raised in poverty in the ghetto. This is not my community. My mama told me God don't have a respect of color. Stop looking at color because God can't see color. So I don't see niggas. I see actions. I recognize my kind by my actions. My kind don't shoot at a nigga mama house. My kind won't shoot at a nigga with his baby like Lucy did with him. My kind don't do that. So that ain't my community. My community don't pee on the corner. They find somewhere inside to pee.
So you don't feel like you have an obligation to the black community because you were raised.
I don't give a damn about the black community. The black community don't care about the black community. I care about hoes who listen.
Okay.
Give a fuck about no nigga. Okay. I give a fuck about nobody else's kids but mine. Because a wise man stores up an inheritance for his children's children. I'm in it starting that right now. Fuck the community. Fuck the community. If I don't give a damn about the community. I tried Dr. King fuck holes and help y'all, and we still didn't get no help.
Women don't give, you don't think?
I think to a degree, because in most cases, women don't like to share what they've created. No, y'all give. It's conditional. It's conditional. I'm being fair. You know why I say that? Watch this. Do you agree with this, Mary? Watch this. You take a woman, right? In most cases, a woman that has educated herself, got a degree, built her life up, who glorifies her credentials. In most cases, she's not trying to be a provider, but she talks as if she's a provider. When meeting a man, she brags about her credentials, but she don't plan on sharing with a man anything she's built. But the man, when we build, we plan on giving you the house. If I own a home, the woman moves in, she can feel like she's at home. If I walk and move into a woman's house, I have to walk and tread lightly, because as soon as she gets mad, she's gonna remind me, this belongs to me.
That's it. What she's gonna do when you move into her house, you can't move nothing around. Honestly, if you sit wrong a certain way, you're in trouble. Don't do this. Don't say that. We're not gonna have that here. I pay the bills, yada, yada, yada. If you come into a man's house, there's gonna be some things that you can't do. And it's usually around, why are you wearing that short skirt out? Oh, it's a girl's night. No, you don't need to be wearing that. It's around something that actually matters. Why are you hanging out with her? She's not a good influence. She gonna have you out at all times of the night. You gotta go to work in the morning. Remember, you got a good job. Hey, you gotta meet that client. No, I can put the client. No, we don't want to put this client off. You spent 5 years building this business. This one client can bring in more than any of your other clients. She can go kick rocks. You don't need to be going out with her tonight. You can tell her, we'll go out this weekend. But right now, 9 a.m., and I'm driving you there. 9 a.m., we need to be ready, and we already need to be there. You need to be going over your notes. So, and sitting on there waiting on her at 10 o'clock when she walk in that door, ready for the sales pitch. We got to get this money. So he's already, that's the structure. He's provided the structure and the protection and the guidance for you. That's what men are doing. But for these modern women, they're not going to give you any of that. You abide by my rules, even if they're fickle and superficial, or else you're getting out of here.
Right.
Bitch, you have to get out. You got to get out this game.
Yeah.
You can't be in a club competing with a goddamn 23-year-old at 38.
Listen, there's a lot of women out here that are in their 40s that are still,
still what?
Like they're still youthful looking.
Even salt looks like sugar from a distance, baby.
Damn.
It ain't nothing sadder than an ex-bad bitch that don't know she ain't bad no more.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people just don't know their time is up. That's so hard to determine. Like, my time, like, how do you hang your own jersey up?
Okay, let's talk about it. Stay-at-home moms. In so many videos, I hear women saying that it would take a man thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to equate to pay somebody else to do the things that she does in the home. I see this video so many times with these women going, well, you'd have to pay a chef $100,000 a year, and then you'd have to pay a chauffeur $100,000 a year, and then you'd have to pay a maid $100,000 a year, and I'm doing all that for free. So if you guys are that fucking good at what you guys are doing, then yes, you guys can go get a fucking job using those skills. You guys are chefs? Go be a chef. You guys are chauffeurs? Go be a chauffeur. You guys are event planners? Go be event planners. You guys want to yap and yap and yap about all the amazing fucking things you guys can do as stay-at-home moms, but then as soon as you guys are getting separated or divorced, all of a sudden you guys have no fucking skills, and poor me, he needs to pay me because I gave up everything. So which is it, ladies? You guys are just these amazing fucking creatures that can just go out and do, and you should be getting paid so much money for what you do. Or you're just lazy and you can't get a job because you have no fucking skills. Which is it?
Stupid. You guys don't have critical thinking skills, and you guys don't assess and figure out where you stand in the dating marketplace. A lot of you guys think you're a 9 when you're really a 2 or a 3. And what ends up happening is you think you deserve a certain quality of man. You don't deserve that guy. You meet that guy. He only has sex with you, never takes you seriously. Then you wonder why I can't get this guy to take me seriously. It's because you're batting out of your league. And the men that are the most attractive are going to play the field most of the time. They're not going to commit. But you think, oh, I got this guy to bang me one time or take me on a date or fly me out once or twice or whatever. And you guys think like that's the caliber of guy you deserve. The man that you deserve versus the guy that you have sex with are two different things, ladies. Okay, it's like crazy to me how a girl will hook up with a guy and think, oh yeah, this is the type of guy I can do like for real. And it just doesn't work that way at all. And I think more women need to get a reality check that like a lot of you guys are not as hot as you think you are. You're not as intelligent as you think you are.
Same goes for men.
You're not as desirable for a relationship as you think you are. And a lot of you got to lower your standards. And I think if women were a little bit more honest with themselves, we'd have more relationships. Because none of you want an average guy, right? 5'8", 40K per year, 50K per year. Maybe not the best looking guy, maybe a little fat. Most of you guys don't want that. That guy is completely invisible to you. But most of you are average. So average women won't even deal with average men. And then they wonder why they keep getting cheated on, because you go after the small percentage of men that have all the girls.
Yeah.
And I would argue that Instagram and social media has made it worse for you guys.
Agreed.
So are you going to lower your standards? No.
Nope.
No.
And that's the issue, bro.
And I know it sounds harsh that he says that, but that's exactly what it is. Modern women don't take time. They're not self-aware. So they don't take time to assess what's actually going on with them, who actually wants them, and what they can actually get in the dating market. And that's why they end up getting pumped and dumped over and over again.
Going on against the chopped man epidemic girl is that she's actually quite beautiful.
I'm gonna have to do a longer video on this one. This is the chopped man epidemic girl. If you do not understand this diagram yet, you're not gonna get a better example. All of the women that you can find complaining about the chopped men are in this range. And they don't like the men in their own range. They call them chopped, which means ugly. And they go after these men who will use them for a short time and not commit. And then these women cannot get these men to commit. That's how society breaks down. These women get their hearts broken over and over by trying for men who will never actually like them. These women can't prevent these men from cheating with them because it's just extra women. And then these men get nothing at all and everyone's miserable. That's how society dies.
It's hard to argue with Homath, I have to tell you.
He's so good at it.
He's good at it. He's good at it. And he
just summed up the downfall of society with the cartoon.
I think if you look at dating app data, it's the same thing. It's a very small pool of guys getting a massive amount of attention from women on a very broad spectrum of attractiveness. And it's a a group of women getting much more attention from men that they are largely ignoring. There was another video that was out there. It was viral in the last couple of weeks where a woman was saying, you know, I don't want to be with a guy who's like super obsessed with looks maxing and super into his looks. And then in the same interview, she was like, well, I want a guy who like really takes care of himself and is good looking, but I don't want him to be the kind of guy that like acts that way. And that's sort of like a guy saying like, I want a woman who looks absolutely incredible, but is not obsessed with her looks and doesn't like spend a lot of time on her makeup and on her. Okay. Well, those are two different things. Like if you want to be with a guy who's got an 8-pack, be prepared to be with a guy who's like on a pretty strict diet and goes to the gym a lot. Like that's how it works. So if you want to be with a guy who's like super lax about what he eats and doesn't spend a lot of time in the gym, be prepared for a guy who's got a little bit of a belly. That's how that's going to work. Like, but if you want to be with a guy who's rich, be prepared to be with a guy who's busy, because that's how that works. If you're like, oh, I want to be rich, but I also want him to have lots of free time, well, you're then probably, because unless he's got inherited wealth, that's not likely to happen. So, home math, it's math. It's hard to argue with math. And I don't think, I mean, listen, you don't have to like what he has to say, but in that video, where's he wrong? Like, point out where he's wrong, present the counter argument. I haven't heard one.
Okay, so let me break this down because I know part one hit a nerve, and some of y'all are still confused about what I meant when I said women want to be ravished. I'm not talking about soft, sweet, is this feel good, honey energy. No, I'm talking about taking me like you've been at war and you just got home to your sexy, sweet, feminine as hell wife. Like you've missed me, like you're starving and I'm the damn feast. That's what I mean. Do I want to be cuddled with afterwards? Yes. Do I want you to run your fingers through my hair and tell me I'm beautiful? Of course. But during, please don't be soft and delicate and unsure. That is a fast track to me feeling like I am babysitting you in bed. Women, we want a man. We want presence. We want power. We want to be handled. And if that makes you uncomfortable, maybe that's the problem, because women aren't just craving connection. I'm sorry. We are craving intensity, passion, and chemistry. Not routine, not robotic. We want to be seen and taken with confidence. That is what makes us feel alive and wanted. Now I'm going to be real with you. I used to have a very dominant personality. I still do. But what I didn't know how to do was turn it off. I brought the same masculine energy into my relationship because of how I was raised, because of trauma, because I didn't trust anybody else to lead. But the second I learned to soften up, the second I let my husband lead in the bedroom and in our relationship and beyond, everything changed. We got deeper, closer, wilder, because I stopped trying to control everything and finally let myself just be his woman. Being ravished isn't about control or a kink. It can be, but it's most importantly, it's about trust. It's about surrendering into your feminine energy because you know he's grounded enough to hold all of you. So if you've ever felt like something's missing in your sex life, if you're craving that primal, magnetic, I can't keep my hands off of you type of love again, it starts here. It starts with you guys. You guys got to talk and figure it out. And if you're not used to hearing women say this out loud, get used to it because I am not holding back. And if you want to talk more about this with me, please message me. I love this. I love when you guys reach out and ask me questions or tell me that you can relate to this because it means that I'm doing something good and it makes me feel better about the content that I'm putting out there. So please reach out to me. I'm happy to help anybody at any given time or have a casual debate or conversation if you disagree. I am open to it all.
Woman in the comments says, yes, except the cuddling. I am not a fan. Another woman says, being desired feels good, but it still has to feel safe and mutual. And she's an intimacy coach. Another woman says, every woman is different. Women who have been previously physically taken advantage of need a softer, less aggressive approach. So, this is the type of stuff that confuses men, because men will go in and say, okay, this is not natural for me, but if that's what she wants, I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. And he tries to go in there and do that. And the woman looks at him sideways. And we can kind of zone out to dating, approaching in general, where a woman says, I love a man that all women love a man that orders for them. And the man goes and tries to order. The woman looks up and sideways like, what are you doing? I order my own food. My bad. Or ask next time first. Well, I thought that's what all women wanted. I was listening to what women said. Okay. And you can do that. Well, I thought that all women, you know, they love flowers. They loved roses. Yeah, I don't like roses. I hate roses. Roses remind me of my dead grandfather. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Well, next time ask. And they get a scolding instead of, no, you know what? I appreciate that. You didn't know. You didn't know. But, you know, this does trigger me a little bit. There's a lack of understanding and communication. Men have so much pressure is what I'm trying to say. They have so much pressure to try to get it right the first time. And that's why a lot of men don't listen to advice like this, is because the next one, what you're doing, the next woman will literally jump all on him about, literally jump down his throat, scold him, post him online, embarrass him, say he's the worst man in the world. He doesn't listen. He hates women. He's misogynistic. He's a part of he's upholding the patriarchy, and whatever else you can come up with.